It's the headache
Capital One, which was Menards,
we all feel.
Chase, Bank of America.
Identity theft. And for Marnie Ribnick, it's all too real.
I don't want anybody to have to go through the aggravation that I went through.
Marnie is one of almost 3 million internet scam victims every year in America. Today, let's make sure it doesn't happen to you. We're going to teach you the major red flags, so let's dig into it.
Today is Safer Internet Day. It's one of those national holidays of sorts, right? And you'd think that most victims are adults like Marnie.
But the FBI says there is a growing number of children at risk. In fact, investigators are asking parents to talk with their kids about what they're doing online. This mom says her 14-year-old son thought he was chatting with a pretty girl on Instagram.
He started crying, he had his phone in his hand, and he just said, "My life is over."
Within a day, their friendly rapport turned intimate, then manipulative and dangerous.
He ended up taking images of himself in exactly the way they instructed, which included images with his face in them.
Investigators say that teen girl was actually suspects in Nigeria who threatened the boy's life if he didn't send money.
Sextortion that isn't about sex. It's straight up blackmail, financial sextortion. And their targets most often are young boys, anywhere from 10 to 17 years of age.
The FBI says it's a fast-growing online crime that's victimized more than 3,000 U.S. teens in 2022.
Kids are a target because maybe they don't always understand the consequences of their actions of sharing.
Experts say sextortion and cyberbullying are the most dangerous online threats to kids, but phishing is the most common.
All sorts of different ways that actually a cyber criminal can exploit them and get money out of them.
Experts recommend parents show kids how to recognize suspicious emails and text, set up multi-factor authentication, and explain the consequences of sending intimate photos.
Your kid makes a mistake, you want them to come to you. This isn't something we should reprimand our kids about. This is something we should teach them positively.
Well, you just heard Ben talking about how phishing is one of the most common threats on the internet for kids. That is true for adults as well. Now, when I say phishing scams, you know, I'm not talking about the ones involving a rod and bait, right? I'm just not. Phishing with a PH is when thieves try to steal your personal information with faulty links sent to you by text or by email. And they can really look legit, but they are phishing for your information. Our Verified team has some tricks to help you spot the scams.
Fake or misleading links are a common way for scammers to trick you into sharing your personal or financial information or to disguise malware. At Verify, we want to make sure you have the tools you need to protect your personal information. Using these sources, let me walk you through 3 things to consider before you click on any link. 1. If you're not expecting a link, don't click on it. Suspicious emails often have a sense of urgency, like an invoice you should pay or an action to take that requires clicking on a link. Don't fall into a potential trap and leave yourself accidentally vulnerable by clicking on that link that you weren't expecting in the first place. This also applies if you get an unexpected or out-of-character message from someone you might know. Scammers may have hacked into that person's account. 2. Examine the link before you click. You might open an email on your computer to find a message with a hyperlink that says click here. But before you do that, use your mouse and hover. A box will pop up to show you what website the link will actually take you to. If the email seems to be from a company like Amazon, but the link that pops up goes to a different website, that is suspicious. If you follow the first 2 verified tips and you're still unsure if a link is safe, then try tip 3. Research the web address and run safety checks. Look at the construction of the link. Check for spelling errors, strange characters, or numbers. For example, google.com is not the same as google-searchforyou.com. URLs that are entirely composed of numbers, they're a red flag. If you're still uncertain about links or websites, there are online tools that can help. Google and antivirus company Norton have sites where you can submit a URL to see whether the website is dangerous. Bad links, well, they can come by text messages too. So don't open them up without doing some research, like looking up the phone number.
With Valentine's Day right around the corner, lots of folks are looking for love online. According to the FBI, that's when romance scams tend to peak every year. Now, these are the types of con jobs that have increased nearly 25% since 2019, with victims losing more than $541 million because of them. So how do you know if someone's profile is real or fake? Here are the biggest red flags according to socialcatfish.com.
You meet somebody online and either they message you, on a social network like Facebook or Instagram, or on a dating website. They fall in love with you quickly, try to get you to go to Google Hangouts or like WhatsApp, an app that's away from those. And by the way, they do that because they try to meet so many people that their accounts get deleted all the time. And if they're in the middle of talking to you and scamming you and their account gets deleted, they get screwed. And so they try to get you to these other platforms.
Well, if scammers targeting people trying to find love makes you mad, then get ready for this. Con artists targeting people trying to help their neighbors. WFMY News 2's Amber Lake learned you should be very careful when sharing a post about a missing person.
There are new scams popping up every single day. This one preys on getting the public's help solving missing person or unknown identity cases. In reality, it's not the end goal of these social media posts.
The Randolph County Sheriff's Office shared the warning online. They asked social media users not to share these posts, asking for help identifying people involved in accidents or even sometimes tracking down missing people. Experts say the posts prey on emotions, and as they get shared all across the internet, open up more people to more scams.
And once they get reaction from that post, what they do is they actually post a link in the comments, and it allows you to click on the link. And it takes you, I have seen from people say that it'll actually take you to a place where you can donate money, or it can take you to a place where they can install malware on your device.
The Sheriff's Office says just this year, they have had over 400 fraud cases reported, many of them happening online.
Social media is huge. I mean, it has blown up drastically over the last 10 years. Almost everybody in the world has social media. And if you think, you can go buy an advertisement on Facebook, Instagram, what have you, and for almost nothing, and post any advertisement you would like.
The Better Business Bureau says there are a few steps you can take to figure out if a post is actually legit.
The best thing that you can do to protect yourself is, one of the best things about people is we all love to help. But before we hit share, we need to take a step back and do a little bit of digging.
Look where the person who created the post is from. If they aren't from your area, that's a red flag. Another sign is if the comments are turned off on the post. You can also do a reverse image search in Google to see if the picture is real. The Better Business Bureau also says you can copy some of the text in the post, then paste it into the search bar on Facebook to see if similar posts pop up.
A reverse Google image search is easy to do. On the Google screen, you click on the images in the upper right-hand corner. When the camera pops up, click on it, and you can either upload an image or paste in a picture's URL. When you do that, you get a page that looks like this. It brings up the image and other times it's been put online, and any articles it's associated with. You can see the dates, so you'll be able to see the history for yourself. And remember, the best rule on the internet, if you have any doubts about something, don't click that link.
Yeah, and don't pay any money or give your login or password. Pause for a second and ask someone else, hey, what do you think about this?